Welcome to Coffee with Clover. It's always a pleasure having you. How well are you taking care of your bodies as part of your daily routine? My guest today has developed her own therapeutic care for the body. She's an award recipient of Canada's Top 100 Women to Look Out For. Please welcome the amazing Dr. Maxine McLean. Dr. McLean, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. You have been awarded Canada's 100 Women to Look Out For. And apart from that, you had an award recently. What was that award about?
Actually, that was the award.
That's the only
Canada's
award?
100 Top Black Women.
How does it feel?
It feels amazing.
Okay.
It was exhilarating. It's a great initiative. And the founder of that actually is Kathy Rose Handy. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was remarkable that she did that.
What actually led you to that path?
To get the award?
Be nominated, being awarded, yeah.
Well, I've done a lot of work. I've created the perfect touch ball therapy modality, which is a great massage modality. I have built wells in Kenya to assist people in getting clean, drinkable water. And I've also created a set of gratitude core therapy cards to help people build a stronger emotional core. Yeah.
So with those in mind, you were recognized, you were awarded. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Now for your touch ball therapy.
Perfect touch ball therapy.
I so happen to have had the touch ball therapy from Dr. McLean, and it felt amazing. I mean, no kidding. Can you tell, for the sake of reviewers, can you please tell them what touch ball therapy is before I get into my testimony?
Well, perfect touch ball therapy is a great massage modality that I created. And basically, it's massaging you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes without you having to remove your clothes. And you're laying under the comfort of a blanket. And as Clover experienced yesterday, she was laying under this blanket. She had her head covered, and she was?
I felt light. This was my experience, okay? I was covered with a blanket. She covered my head. My head, starting at my head, not until it got to my feet, in my mind it was like from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. Felt good. But for the fact that my head was covered and I was under it was a winter blanket that you put on me.
Right.
I wasn't hot at all. My head felt cool when she started, and my entire body felt light. I have a strain in this hand, it happened lifting something heavy. And I remember as you did your massage, I felt a kick. Like the pain rose. And as you continued, I could feel little sparks. You know, sometimes you feel a pain, you can tell the color and you can tell the size of it. But these were some little yellow pellets. I felt them leaving my fingers.
Oh, that was incredible.
And I felt so light when I was and when you got to my feet, whoa, living testimony, it felt so good. I was clothed. I had the blanket on me. I was wearing socks. And the massage was being done, and it felt as if she was touching my body, and I didn't feel any way funny. It felt different from the regular massages I've done, Swedish massage, where they're touching my skin. It's different. You didn't have to touch me, and I wasn't warm under that blanket. I felt my body temperature was just right. How, though? Because I'm like, wow, what's happening? How? It felt good. Even to this morning, I felt so great.
Well, what's amazing about perfect touch ball therapy is the fact that I can massage your face, your head, your eyes, your neck, your breast, their breast, between their butt crack without them feeling awkward. It's non-invasive. I'm able to use the balls to work on those parts, yeah.
When did you actually start touch ball therapy?
I started touch ball therapy around 26. Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's because I'm a massage hog, they call it, right? I absolutely love massages.
Oh, so you love going for pampering for
I
yourself?
love to be pampered, and I just had to figure out another way to be pampered. And I also spoke to a lot of women that shared, their anxiety regarding taking off their clothes and going under a blanket and having someone massage them. And in that way, they were not able to some women, because some women absolutely love it, but some women, they don't feel they don't feel comfortable, and some areas are just left out. The abdomen, the breast, between the breast, the buttocks, they don't get that.
During a regular massage.
During a regular massage.
Right.
So, this is not to say that regular massages, conventional massage is not great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, but perfect touch ball therapy is just an adjunct to that. It can be used, as a single massage therapy, or it can be a part of the mainstream massage therapy.
How often should one do it? Because I would love to have it again. How often?
Well, it depends. It depends on, what your goals are. Is it relaxation? Is it to deal with emotional issues? Is it to deal with pain, trauma from an accident? It depends on what your goals are and what your issues are.
So what emotional issues, why someone would choose touch ball therapy though?
Well, it could be emotional trauma as a result of being, being impacted by a loved one, or for whatever reason, maybe from birth, maybe through relationships. Whatever the emotional issue is, then we can somehow target that and be able to eliminate it.
So once it's for a targeted situation, is there a special area of the body that you would focus on?
Well, you see, again, with perfect touch ball therapy, because we're not using just one ball at a time, we're using maybe 2 balls or 4 balls. So the practitioner is able to sense what's happening with the patient under her hands. She can sense.
And that's you knowing the body, how it's made up.
Well, yeah. But the practitioner can sense what's happening there, and she's able to tell there's a blockage here. You know that we've got energy points in our body, the front and the back, right? And the top of her head, the bottom of her feet, okay? So while the practitioner is working on you with the balls, she can sense that. Another good thing about it is that it doesn't stress out the practitioner. So she can go through massaging maybe quite a number of people throughout the day without feeling stressed. Because while the practitioner is massaging that individual, she's also
she's pulling
pulling
from the
reciprocating
patient. Right.
Yeah, a massage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means after doing a massage, you have to take care of you.
Of course, but because you're rolling the balls, it's also accessing a few pressure points on the palm. That is also beneficial to one. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks for touch ball therapy. Thanks for introducing it to us. And I would advise any woman to try. Is it just for women?
No, it's for both men and women.
It's for both men and women.
But I mean, the men, they want the conventional massage.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, their way.
The men don't care if they're touched there, right?
Okay.
Women's like, wait a minute.
Treat yourself. Try touch ball therapy. Only the best is good enough. It's time for a break. More coming up. Welcome back. His own conviction led him to his practice today. Please help me welcome Brian Phillips. Brian,
Thank you,
welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you. So, acupuncture is what you do now.
Yes.
But before you actually got into the practice, you have a living testimony that really convinces you why you got into it. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I happened to be volunteering at a veterinarian's office, and a lame dog came in, and we were going to do a surgery in the dog, and instead the owners asked the veterinarian if they could just do a bit of acupuncture and they could figure out what they were going to do for this very major, very expensive surgery. And I was in the room with the dog, and basically the vet put a few acupuncture needles in the dog. 15 minutes later, the dog stood up, walked around, wagged his tail. It was fine.
Because
from what I could see, just from these needles going in, so there's no placebo effect. There's nothing involved. Other than something must have happened through the insertion of these fine needles into the dog's back.
Is it always used on dogs, or they were just trying it out at the time?
At that time, I think he was just okay, well, we'll do something to appease the owners and give us a bit of time. So I don't even think the vet thought it was going to work. So it was just, for me, it was okay, I saw that, I witnessed that, and then as I started to look into things, I've broken over 45 bones in my body. I've had ailments since I've been a teenager. So trying it out and meeting different people, that became my addiction. That became what I wanted to learn. I've always wanted to help people, and I knew Western medicine has great things that it can do, but also it misses many segments. You know, for osteoarthritis, they don't really have anything to treat that with.
Before trying acupuncture, did you try other medicine and it didn't work?
Oh yeah, I was like chiropractic, massage. You know, I was trying to do everything. So, but acupuncture for me personally, I found I had a great effect from it, and it changed things, and it gave me a great intuitive insight into things that I could do to help my body, to help my energy, to help me in life. And so it's been a lovely journey, a lot of learning.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you learn every day as you go along.
And every patient's different, and two patients with the same symptoms and you know, have to be treated in a different way. So I find that the Chinese, this way of looking at the body very holistically, you look at many different things. So I think you can give a better root treatment to people. And the effects from people, I mean, just being able to see that, I mean, not just with people, I also treat dogs and horses.
Oh, so you do that because you saw it work.
I am an animal lover, so just that I've always, and seeing an animal in pain is has to be one of the most.
So you have to try to find a way to help them.
Yes.
Okay, my mom used to do that. The dog is in pain, she used the home remedies and tried to find some way to help the dogs out. Yeah.
Well, the body, even an animal's body, it really wants to heal itself. We have so many things in place, mechanisms within our body that can bring us back into a state of homeostasis. So really, with acupuncture, that's what you want to do, is remove any of the potential blocks and let the body heal itself, because the body is a magnificent thing.
So for the sake of our viewers, what exactly is acupuncture?
So acupuncture is an insertion of, like, for my style, which is more of a Japanese style, it's insertion of very, very fine needles into various acupuncture points. There's up to 1,000 in the human body.
Needles, I'm scared of needles.
This is probably the biggest hindrance in people trying it, because most people are just like, I don't like needles. I get needles from my doctor. It's very painful. It's hard to call these a needle, but we haven't figured a better word for it. So I'm going to show you. They're all sterile until they're open.
Okay.
They're super fine. So if you put your hand just like this, I promise this is not going to stab you.
Okay,
but
it's like plastic.
It's almost like a human hair. So if I'm trying to insert this into somebody, this is just going to bend.
Does it have a magnet or something?
No, they're just stainless steel, but they're rounded at the end. So they're not designed to do any harm to any tissue.
It's very thin.
So you can
Is it the first layer of the skin that is going to go?
It usually will go through the 3 layers, but I'm just going to do this on myself.
Okay.
So it's just a very gentle, like, that's the point. So there's no pain, there's no discomfort if the acupuncturist is doing it properly. And it actually starts to create the parasympathetic autonomic nervous system to kick in, which actually enhances the healing effect. So Hiko's very famous point, but this can relieve like headaches, toothaches, and different things, but can be used in a combination of a variety of different points to just help the body get into balance.
Because you know what, thinking of acupuncture, thinking of the needles, that's what scares me off, because at one point I wanted to try it, just to be curious. But thinking of needles, it's like
and just understand, there's different styles. So this is what I prefer to do. This is what Dr. Tim Tanaka was a wonderful professor in Toronto that I learned. I spent 3.5 years there full time learning through him, and it was just showing that there's different methods and different ways. There's so many different styles. Acupuncture is just almost like Western medicine. You're going to have good doctors and bad doctors. You're going to have doctors that have this belief and other doctors that might have a different belief. So I think I just got into the style. I liked it. My patients love it, that they can be asleep during most of the treatment. So
you put the needles on, it goes through all 3 layers of the skin.
Yes.
What does it do then?
Great question. So it's we do have different energy pathways that are separate from our circulatory nervous system. Some of them have been documented, like in the fact that, you know, a point on your leg, sorry.
That's okay.
So for example, you know, the point right here, if we put a needle in that point and you have an ultrasound on your stomach, it actually will move your stomach. So with Western medicine, it doesn't make sense. There's no nerve connection below your knee to anything with your internal organs. So that's how we're starting to prove that there's something different, there's something else going on in the body that you can't really see under yet with a microscope or you know, the means we have of looking into the body. I mean, an MRI doesn't show you the meridian pathways of acupuncture,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean they don't exist, and that doesn't mean that sometimes doing a point here can help things like stomach discomfort or other ailments. It's fascinating how the whole body connects to itself, and that, treating a point here or a point on your foot can actually affect your head or affect your ears or affect different things like that. It's a very fascinating treatment.
We have more coming up with Chinese acupuncture. Welcome back. The conversation continues with Brian Phillips. Brian, just before the break, I wanted to ask, whenever your patient comes in, right, the needles are set through the 3 layers of the skin. That's hard to think of. But is the result instant or?
It depends on the condition, depends what they're coming for. Sometimes a very chronic condition with heart disease and diabetes and other things going on, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. So if I'm treating somebody much older, their energy in general, we're going to say, is a little bit weaker, so the effects maybe not be as dramatic. And usually from a good treatment, the effects are usually like the next day is when the strongest effects are around. But for certain pain conditions, or especially if I'm treating like a teenager with a sore knee, it's almost instant. I mean, quite often I've seen people that couldn't wear pants walk in, or they come in with a cane or crutches, and they leave and they forget those things.
And that's without taking any prescription medicine. That's wonderful.
Exactly, without the harmful side effects.
Right.
The great thing with acupuncture is that it really will do no harm, unless somebody's using, you know, a dirty needle or something along those lines. But, you know, most qualified acupuncturists, we're all using one single use.
The needles are one
single
use.
sort of, and then they get put into a sharps container. But if you're clean, if you're doing everything sterile in a proper environment, there's no harm that can be done. So that's why I think it's for most people, it's worth trying to just see, because you're getting a different perspective in your body, a different perspective on your health, and maybe some preventative measures can help you avoid illness and disease.
When do I think that I need acupuncture? Like, I wanted to do it just because it exists. Well, why would I want to do it though?
I think it is a different way of looking at your body, and possibly stopping something like diabetes or heart disease or something. Sometimes we're able to detect things, checking the pulse, looking at the tongue, checking your body from a different perspective gives us a different view of what beneficial things might help you. Changes in diet, exercise, movement, changes with some supplements, some of the herbs, which most of the herbs have been used for 4,000 or 5,000 years. I mean, they don't have the side effects that a lot of the Western medicine will have or can have.
So then, should this be a part of your regular physical routine?
I believe so. I see there's no harm in that, and having a better insight into yourself. I mean, the amount of patients I've been able to help to avoid heart disease or diabetes or things like that. I mean, that's given them an extra, you know, boost in their life, and that's, I believe, a valuable thing that saves even our healthcare dollars by quite a bit.
You have something that's an alternative to using the needles, a cream that you can use?
So it's interesting, with some of the Chinese creams, I've actually been able to mix it. This will become legal soon.
Is that like a moisturizer or something?
This particular one is for pain. It's got camphor, wintergreen, and menthol in it, but it's also got a homemade...
it hurts right here.
It takes about 20 minutes.
I strain my...
So this cream specifically, it's better to put around the joint
puffy?
itself. Yeah,
Right.
it is swollen.
And
so if we can do a time lapse thing, and probably within 30 minutes,
it starts working?
You should notice that the swelling will go down.
Wow.
Because I'm also using a little bit of
You're right on time.
Yeah, exactly, for your next person.
I lift something heavy
better.
and strained it.
Oh, okay.
And continue to use it. So that's why it looks like that.
And ice is sometimes just the best thing. Ice can really help reduce inflammation, and when you take the ice pack off, then your body's also sending
it's
signals
feeling like
to send.
ice. And just so you know, this wasn't planned. I didn't even know you're bringing the cream, and so happened that I have a sprained or strained wrist right now, and it's feeling a bit icy.
It's going to, the camphor menthol wintergreen was going to have
it's
that
going
bit of
to.
that effect. It allows actually the CBD also to get more into the joint itself.
So will I need another application, or this is it?
Twice a day, 3 times a day, you can use it at that amount.
How much does that cost, if you don't mind?
At the moment, my cost on that's about $25 for that
Okay.
size, but this can last a long time. And of
Okay.
course, it's going to be my
And it
gift to you,
depends.
right?
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
It's homemade, so it's made with love as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm happy. No, I'm gonna get better.
Yeah,
I'm
just as long as you're not
scared.
allergic to camphor menthol
Oh
or wintergreen
no,
sort of
I'm
thing.
not allergic
That's-
to anything. Thank
yeah.
God, I'm
Oh,
healthy.
that's
yes.
good,
Yeah. And what else is there? That's in that red box.
I just brought a few things. It's just some of the, we have like Chinese medicine. Some of the Lei Wei Di Hung one is a very famous medicine just for kidney and liver.
That's a tea.
No, these are actually patent medicine, so they're just
Oh.
little pills. A lot of people that have a weak kidney or that liver, in Chinese medicine, we look at things a little bit differently. It's the energy from the organs. But I find people, especially people that have to, older men, that have to urinate very often in the evening time, and that's disrupting their sleep. Something like this can actually fix that.
So it
And-
holds them from going too often.
It helps their energy improve,
Okay.
and thus they don't need to go as often. So it's
Okay.
very amazing how something very simple, something very
Yeah.
inexpensive can
Right.
change things. Where in
Yeah.
Western medicine, we just don't have anything like that
What
that can
if-
do these things.
What if someone doesn't want to have a pill? Is there a tea?
Though
associated?
they make lots of teas. I will say with the teas, the Chinese medicinal teas are very hard for Westerners to drink. So
Okay.
I have one excellent Dr. Chan. He actually makes them into like a tea bag.
Tea bags,
And
okay.
so they're maybe not as strong as a Chinese tea, but I find a lot of Westerners will be much more willing to take those.
I love teas. I drink tea, all type of tea, no sugar, just
Right.
and you taste the natural taste comes
Yeah.
out with no sugar added, and it's amazing.
And some of the teas he has like an anti-gout tea. He has teas for hypertension. He has teas for so many different things. And I find so many of my patients benefit so much from things like that. A simple tea that might be $10 for 50 tea bags, but it's a medicinal tea.
Okay, great. Thank you
So,
so much,
yeah,
Brian,
it's
for
very-
coming and
you're
sharing all
welcome.
this valuable information. I do thank you for my cream. You didn't know I needed it, but I do. It has been a pleasure here with you today, and until next time, thanks for watching Coffee with Clover.